So it's my absolute pleasure to be administering the Kalman Teacher Prizes and the Kalman Teacher Fellowships for this year. I wanted to start with a little bit of an introduction about who Kalman is. So John Kalman was a former professor of my department, the Department of Mathematics at the University of Auckland. He was also a head of department. So he was, and when he passed away, he and his wife, Margaret, established a charitable trust, which they specified was to support mathematics in New Zealand. And one of the things that the trustees have done with that is to fund some annual teacher prizes and teacher fellowships for school teachers. So let's have a look at the teacher prizes first. So the Kalman Teacher Excellence Prizes are designed to acknowledge amazing teaching in mathematics and statistics. And I'm really excited about that because honestly, I'm so tired of all the negativity about teaching and maths education that's going on. Sure, there are things that we can work on. There's always things that we can work on, but there's also some fantastic things going on. And I'd really love to counter some of that narrative by saying, hey, look at these awesome people doing these amazing things. And this is just one small way of doing that. So it's really exciting to do that. These are open to any primary, intermediate, or secondary school teacher of mathematics and statistics in New Zealand. So it's in the whole nation. Now, there may be a little bit of confusion about this because initially when they were set up, they were set up small because the Kalman trustees wanted to just try it out with a small amount. And so it was local to Auckland because John Kalman was in Auckland and the trustees were all in Auckland. And it was also specific just to secondary school teachers. So if you go and have a look at the website, you'll notice that the very first two prize awardees, one of whom is here, one of whom is the president of AMA, Mala Nataraj, and Subhash Chandra was the other inaugural recipient. They were both, at the time, secondary school teachers in Auckland. However, it's since been expanded because it was so successful. The trustees were just really impressed at the quality of teachers, and they said, we want to extend this to all of New Zealand. We want to, and they actually increased the amount that they were offering. So what else? There are 6+ cash prizes of $5,000 each. And that is a cash prize. It's not taxed. It's there's no GST. It just gets paid directly into the prize recipient's bank account. And in this current climate with the cost of living crisis and other things going on, it's a really nice prize. The other thing is it's real. Some people have told me, I've heard people say, I don't think it's a hoax. Who would give that amount of money away? This has actually happened, and I've seen it for myself. That I've not been a recipient of, obviously, but I have seen people being awarded it and using it to, buy chairs or go on holidays or do whatever they want with it. It's a reward for your teaching. You don't have to use that prize to support your teaching. It's just for you to use how you want to say thank you for being an amazing teacher. So please consider applying yourself. Now, I know that's always hard to say because teachers are notoriously humble. I've spoken about these prizes in the past and gone up to teachers and encouraged them to apply. And they've said, no, I won't. Oh, go talk to that person over there. We're not very good at putting ourselves forward. So the other thing I'd like to say is please encourage other people to apply. If you know of somebody who would never do it, but you think, oh, they really deserve it, offer to write their nomination letter. So in order to apply, you do need to have both a little description about yourself, but also somebody who will nominate you, and they have to write a nomination letter. So encourage them to do it. Support them through it. It's an awful sometimes process for somebody humble to put themselves forward like that. But just one of the things that I tell people is imagine that you're writing it for somebody else. If you are writing your own application form, you're filling out the form, just imagine that you're describing all the qualities that somebody else has, and it becomes a bit easier because it doesn't feel like you're big noting or anything like that. But please consider it's such a I think it's such a value to the community to showcase excellent teaching and to change some of that narrative. Applications are due on September the 22nd. In fact, when I talked to Jared earlier, they were originally due a couple of weeks ago, but when Jared said that this session was going to be held on the 14th of September, then I said, oh, well, let's extend the application so that I have a chance to do one last try to convince some people to apply. So just as evidence that these do get awarded, here are the 6 prize recipients for last year. And you can see that it went to a range of people from both primary. Donna and Julia were both primary, I think. Yes, and I think everyone else was in secondary. And it was from all over New Zealand. So some from Auckland, some from Christchurch, and one from Porirua. We'd love to have a real diverse mix. Also, the longevity of the prizes depends on people actually applying. So I can tell you that sometimes we've had over 70 applications, and sometimes we've had less than 5 applications. And it goes in kind of waves. And one of the things that I've noticed is that not only are teachers extremely humble, but if they don't get awarded a prize one year, then even if they were like the next person on the list, and we would have thought, oh, we really wanted to award them, but we just didn't have enough prizes, we don't see them for the rest of in the next year. So they're reluctant to try again. They might think, oh, I wasn't good enough. That's clearly they want someone else. Well, actually, please give it another go. Have a look at your application, see where you can support it. There may be things that you've done since then. And please do consider applying again. So that's the Kalman Teacher Excellence Prizes. I want to now move and talk about another thing that the Kalman Fund is supporting, and that is the fellowships. The fellowships are there to support teachers to study, to engage in postgraduate study. So before I outline the fellowships, I just want to talk about the 3 courses. Oh, sorry, here's one last thing. There are a number of categories that you can apply under. You can describe which one that you think you fall under, but you can also just put together an application and just explain why you deserve it or why you think somebody else deserves it. So next year, we're going to be teaching 3 courses at the University of Auckland, and these 3 courses all qualify for the Kalman Teacher Fellowship, which is a separate thing. The first one is about teaching and learning in algebra and calculus, and this is offered in the summer semester. So there are just a few block days in January and February of teaching. That's offered by Igor Kontorovic. In semester 1, there is a topics and statistics education course offered by Stephanie Budgett. And this is a course that looks at all sorts of issues in statistics education. Those classes are held, I can't be sure, I can't give you sure dates yet because the timetable isn't out until the end of November, but they're usually held on Tuesday evenings after school. And there are options for Zoom, although there is also a live lecture. So you can Zoom in if that is easier for you. And then in second semester, I'm going to be co-teaching a course with Ofu Mamur, and we're looking at processes in the curriculum, mathematical process, things like communicating, modeling, problem solving and posing, proving, things like that. So that, again, I think usually is on a Wednesday evening, again, with options for Zoom or in-person attendance. And all of these can be taken towards a Master of Professional Studies. These Masters of Professional Studies are designed for mathematics and statistics teachers who have 3+ years of experience. And what they do is they assume they take one of that 3+ years of experience as part of your qualifications to be admitted into the program. And some of the things that students have done in the past have included topics like Jared, this might seem familiar. How can secondary school mathematics teachers use digital tools in virtual and physical classrooms?
Oh,
So
great.
things really practical, really relevant to your own practice, but drawing on current research. There's also mathematics anxiety and high achieving girls in secondary school. Critical thinking, looking at maths competitions in South Auckland schools, looking at resources for teaching circle geometry, and then also elementary or primary school mathematics teachers' affect and identity. So a range of things. So what are the Kalman Fellowships? Well, they're designed to support maths teachers and stats teachers to study and share their expertise, what they've learned. So it's meant to really support teachers to become leaders. Some of them may already be leaders, but in going through the process of reflecting on your own practice through this postgraduate study, we really want to support you to also share that expertise with others in the community. Again, it's open to any primary, intermediate, or secondary school teachers, but in this case, it is localised to the Auckland area, just because the courses are taken through the University of Auckland, although those courses can be taken by people who live outside. The issue is that the fellowships involve some meetings that involve being in person in Auckland. So that's the reason why they're restricted to the Auckland area. And there are 5 fellowships worth $5,000 each for next year. And that $5,000, half of it goes directly to the fellow. So again, it's for you to use however you wish. If you were thinking, you know what, studying is going to be an extra burden on me this year, so it'd be really nice to get some help with housework and or cleaning or the garden, well, you can use that for that. Or if you think, oh, I'd like to see if I can negotiate with my school to buy out some of my time so that I can spend studying, that's up to you. So that's completely up to you to choose to use how you see fit. Most of the rest of it goes towards paying your course fees for 1 or 2 postgraduate courses of the ones that we've identified. And then there's a small amount that goes for administration costs. And again, the applications for this are due at the beginning of November. So there's a bit more time for this one. But again, this did really happen. And here are some people from this year's cohort. So there's a mixture of primary and secondary. There's also a mixture of regions within Auckland. And some of the things that they've said, one said, it's been very much an honour getting to know each other this year. So the emphasis was not just on the learning, but also on getting to know other people who are passionate about it. Both our initial meeting and Lisa's face-to-face days, these are talking about the course that they took, created a sense of whanaungatanga, and I have so appreciated this. The connections I've made are incredibly valuable. I feel very lucky. And then another one was, I think the fact that we all did the same paper in semester 1 has been a huge success. Learning together and having time together to discuss and collaborate has been the gold. So it's really an opportunity to be reflecting together on your practice with the support of lecturers in maths and stats education. There is a small requirement, which is, and it's kind of more an encouragement, which is to present in that year something that reflects some of your learning to teachers beyond the Kalman Teacher Fellows. So that could be a presentation in your school to other mathematics teachers, or it could be a presentation at an AMA online session. And in fact, we do have one of the teachers, I think today, presenting at AMA online today. So I think that's all I wanted to say about the 2 options, the 2 opportunities. I really hope that there are people amongst you who are thinking, you know, that sounds interesting. I'd like to have a go at that. Or, you know, I know somebody who I'm going to encourage to apply for one of those things.